Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakurasou here. Coming at you guys with a new intro. I hope you guys liked it. I actually got it as a gift from my boy Harv the Cardman, so shouts to him. Hopefully you guys liked it. I thought it was really cool. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But also, I know you guys are excited, not just because we have giveaways, cards you're not looking at, and that you can snipe before everyone else does, and to see my beautiful face. But if you guys have been keeping up with my community tab, you guys know what I'm giving away next. And yes, your boy is giving away some Dark Magician sleeves here. Yes. Now, there will hopefully be an image here showing some of the other sleeves I got, even though it's a dusty picture. I will be giving away some of Dark Magician slash IP sleeves here and there. So these are really cool, kind of hard to find. They're from the OCG, I believe. So if you guys want to win that, what you have to do is make sure that you're subscribed. We're almost at 3,900 subs, by the way. The goal is it was 4K by the end of May, but that's probably not happening. So you have to be subscribed, like the video, and comment in the description below either cards you want me to look over, what you guys think of the sleeves, and how your day was. And that's it. So make sure that you leave a like, be subscribed, and essentially comment. So I will announce the winner on the community tab within like a week and a half or two, like usual. If you guys missed the last giveaways, they're on the community tab. But everyone got back to me anyway. But we're going to get right into this. If you're buying any cards off TCG Player, please use my affiliate link down in the description below. Helps out the channel to no additional cost to you. Thank you all my YouTube channel members. Consider being a YouTube channel member yourself. And let me know in the comments section below what I'm going over next. Market Watch. And we're going to get right into it. Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. Now, this is a card that I always like to check up on like once every month and a half, because a lot of players really like this as a Blue Eyes card. Looks really cool. And Battles of Chaos has like, they struck gold with the ultra rares. This right now is a $7.50 card, and it goes up and down. Sometimes it's like $3 to $4, sometimes it's $5, $6. Right now, their 7's going to $8. If this card misses the reprint, you could bet this is going up. Now, if this card becomes a secret rare in the tins, I think a lot of players are going to like it, including collectors and fans of Blue Eyes. Even though the tins are usually mass print a lot of the cards that aren't really good to short print, like for example this card would be doing no favors, I still think this card is a really good penny stock at that time if it gets reprinted as a prismatic seeker. If they reprint it as a super, I think these ultras will not drop too crazy as well. It's not bad either. I mean, basically you tribute Blue Eyes White Dragon equipped with the fusion monsters, so if you somehow get that out, cool. It's not affected by trap cards, and this card attacks all monsters your opponent controls once each. And you can target a trap in your graveyard and place it on in your spell and trap soon. I don't know why it says on here. It's because it said set it to your spell trap zone on the card, but I don't know if it's plausible at all. Tyrants Throat. So someone told me that this was seeing play in the OCG. I know that you could summon out 2 Frostosauruses and tribute this. That is one option. I know we're getting a little bit more normal support. So I didn't really get time to necessarily look at why this card is being played in the OCG. That is just a guess I have. But someone can let me know in the comment section below. You tribute 2 normal monsters, except for tokens, and your play can normal summon normal or special effect monsters, right? So a extremely powerful floodgate. If you can get it off, which most likely you can't. If you look at first edition Near Mint Light plays here, they're kind of sense here. I don't think they're like crazy at all, but I don't, you never know, because this card, it's more so if we get a normal deck that could do stuff, this is an amazing floodgate that you can use. So if you decide to pick up some copies of this card, which I don't think it hurts to pick up some copies of this card. I mean, you have a Photon Shock wave rare that hasn't been printed in a long time. I don't think that like Konami doesn't have the time to look at like all these obscure rares and all that. Like one card they haven't actually report, like with all of the, I'm gonna say call it the Fat King line, they haven't even reprinted this card, and at least this card's like a secret rare, which I told people it's not an awful dollar pickup. I want to see what it is right now. Like 2 weeks later, 24 listings, a lot less listings. Dollar, it goes up to 2. Just kind of a card. It's not an awful card. It probably activates a spell trap with the same name as one of your graveyard. You negate the activation if you do destroy that card. Then you have one card with your name from your graveyard to your hand. So essentially, you just negate. It's a really good in the mirror match because it's a 1-for-1 essentially, but it's a negate, and then you get to add back that card. So it also gets like more strategy in a way because it's like, well, this card's more powerful, but if I negate X card, not only are their plays not going to be as good, it would be worse if I wait for the blank card. But I get this back from my graveyard, for example, so I have follow-up play on my next turn. I think it's a cool card as a counter trap. I don't think it's extremely plausible, but I feel like it's not awful to play test it. Tyrant's Temper from STARSTRIKE Blast. Now, I actually like this card. I've talked about this one card in the past. You tribute one monster. Face-up monsters you own are unaffected by the effects of other trap cards. So basically, it's not awful because essentially you're giving all your cards a trap tricks effect, and in a trap heavy format, it's not necessarily bad because I believe it is all monsters you control as well as the ones you summon out. If it's only the cards that are on the field, then this card's not that great. But imagine having a card, having all your cards. I mean, obviously with evenly, it affects the player, so you don't get over evenly. But stuff like bottomless, mirror force, all that stuff, it's really cool. Right now for first sets, and this card has been bought out multiple times. It's $5 going up to like sixes over here. It's not bad. 23 listings. This card gets bought out. This did hit around $15 when it got bought out. And something I never noticed, and we're going to go over this in STARSTRIKE Blast here, is a lot of cards from STARSTRIKE Blast this like last 6 months, right? In fact, even the last 3-4 months have been bought out like crazy. So I'm going to be checking in on some of those cards here. We got Psy Blocker here from STARSTRIKE Blast. Prohibition, people were summoning this out with psychic cards, yada yada. Right now they're like 20s, 21. So they settled a little bit, but not too crazy here. Not too crazy. I did see a Plunder list actually trying this out as well. So Prohibition here, $67 for your champion packs here. Which I mean that's not bad. That's really not that bad, I feel. And then you have your secret rares here, which don't want to show up here. Oh, here they are. I'm dumb. I just passed them. Your near mint and lightly played are about 13, 16 for first editions here. Near mints are going to be about 16s. I would just get the first editions. I actually had this card in Unlimited. I just happened to pick them up for, I think it was like 2s each. And I was like, you know what? It's a great card. Let me get these. I'm cool with having 2 sets of this anyway, because I know the Seekers can go up eventually. And then I guess, you know, I never picked up my personal set. It's the same thing with Droll and Lockbird. If you've watched my channel for a long time, I had 2 ulti Drolls at 35, and I said, I will get the third later on. And I kept telling myself that. There were 80s. I was like, maybe they'll go down. This was back in 2020, I believe. And yeah, now it's like $200-something, and I felt really dumb. At least I was smart enough to get 2 at 35, I guess. Glow Up Bulb. So this is a card that, if you guys don't know, I really want this card back. I think that with Hulk gone, this card, it could technically come back. It's not as strong. I just think that people could play stuff like Nat Beast, etc., to make this card also 1-for-1 target. But I like this card because it helps in plant. So, first editions here. You have a light play here for $12.86 with 99-cent shipping. Okay. 18, 20, 28. So the people are interested in this card, and that is a very cheap copy for $13. People are buying a lot of near mints here for like the $20, $30 mark here. So nice little pickup on the $12 there. If you're buying that, use my affiliate link. But it's always cool to see like a random cheap copy of this like pop up. I remember when these were like solid $5. I said this is like the best biggie bag from Wendy's as an investment you could probably buy. And I was right because these did spike at 25 to 35s. Secrets are 25s. So I remember when these were like 6, 7s. And I told people to grab them. This card has settled. Last time I checked it was roughly around 25, 30. And that's kind of where it is now. And there's not many listings here. Okay, I don't know why that happened. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. All right, so I don't care about this comment. Glow bulbs, the golds over here. A little bit of cash. You know, $3-4 here. I personally, I don't like the gold. If this card gets reprinted, if you don't want to get this card as a Seeker or an Ultra, but you can afford a gold. Yeah, you could get it. Maybe it spikes up day one, then you can move it and blah blah blah, and that's cute, right? But I told people to get them at dollars if you really want. And it was much more beneficial to get the ultras and secrets. I even said it back then. But if whenever they bring back a card that's banned, usually I'm using the word capital U usually, right? Because Substitute has not gone with this rule at all. Like Substitute's been back in the TCG for like I think 9 months or something roughly, and they've yet to put that card in a reprint set. I don't know why. Ghost of the Past, please help me out. But this card, if it comes back, most likely they're gonna reprint that, and you have a common for like a buck, as well. Okay, we're gonna look at the ultis here. First sunlight plays 105, then near mints 113, 119. If you guys don't know, by the way, about the ulti glow bulbs, these damage very easily. Not every single one per se. I think mine's an exception personally. But I remember back when I was around 12 and 13 and glow bulb was legal, people you saw in binders sometimes. People were really careful to not play this card because it would get damaged very easy. Like you like play one game with it and there would be creases on it. Or in one time a guy folded it basically almost in half, made it basically damaged. Basically. And I just remember like issues with this ulti as a kid, and I was like, wow, the product quality sucks or something. I'm like, why is it like that? So only for this card, it doesn't extend to other STARSTRIKE ultimates, but there are issues with glow bulb specifically. Ulti tunings. These are still 165. I actually have one here, and I love this card. I got this card because I was like, you know what? At 50s, I know this card's gonna go up, but I had a lot of bills I had to pay. My wife was unemployed at the time, and it was hard, you know, because I had to pay all the bills, and I wasn't really able to get much that I wanted. I remember I got something as a some money as a gift. I was like, you know what? Let me round up and just buy my one copy of Ulti Tuning, so I have one for the binder because I really want one for the binder, right? I have a place of ultras I got back in the day. I'll be happy with an Ulti call a day because 50s to 70s were like really cheap at the time. I'm really glad I did, but man, oh man, I could have got. I know I would have got a place of this card. It's unfortunate. Ultras are, let's see, 977. Now, I actually think these copies for 10 are very cheap before they go up to 15, 18 here. If you want a beautiful ultra rare copy of Tuning, go ahead and grab these. Like, StarStrike Blast for singles is an extinct set. Like, they just didn't print this a lot. Like 5D's era, maybe I'll do a video on this, but I feel like I want to go over it because if you really look at StarStrike, like the StarStrike Blast, but 5D's, you have StarStrike Blast, which was almost extinct even when it came out. You had sets not having first edition boxes; they were just in the tins. I feel like 5D's is also just rare because of the way they printed it, and I think it might a whole like retrospect video, maybe something called like 5D sealed products and what went wrong or something. I don't think that's a title that's going down. Now, Red Nova Dragon. Now, this is a card I told people. Now, why did my dumb ass not think of looking at this card with the new Resonator support? I went over everything else that I needed to besides maybe the mini Resonators, right? But not Red Nova Dragon, right? Why did I not do that, right? Because if you guys don't know, this is one of my favorite cards, and I actually have ultis. And I told people to get ultras at cheap because I'm like, look, this has a legendary collection print and then just rares and all that. The OG ultra is gonna hold a higher rarity, right? So, what are these today for Near Man Lightly Played? Now, first of all, there's 12 listings. Okay, that's equivalent to nothing. 4 for a light play. Then it goes up. Well, not even 4. That 150 shipping. 556, 6.5, 8. Now you have 10 copies here. You can get them for 4s if you pay the $3.99 shipping. 4, 9, right? And this card, let's see how it's selling here. So, this card, I guess people aren't looking at it either. From these sales. I mean, these sales aren't bad per se for an older card, but you'd expect a little more. Like 1, 2, 3, 3 this month, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So damage for $2. But yeah, not a bad card I get for a couple dollars here. Now, ultis, I actually have these. In fact, I got two of this card for some reason. I was like, I'm good with one, and then I ended up, oh yeah, this is because the guy just wanted to get rid of it for a deal. And I was like, you know what, I love this card. If you guys don't know what this card does, by the way, gain 200 check for each tuner in the graveyard. It's 3,500, right? So in the Jack Atlas, like all that, you could easily get this to like 5, 6. I've seen it at 7K. Card can't be destroyed by the effects of your opponent's spell, traps, or monsters, right? So it can't be destroyed, basically. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you could select it and then remove this card from play and negate the attack, which is cool, I guess, but, you know. During the end phase, special summon this card that was removed from play by this effect. Only this card, though, not your opponent's, which is kind of funny and interesting. So, these are, what, like 7... wow, so these got a lot cheaper. These were always like 60, 70, 40... like, yeah, 42, going up to 50 here. So I actually end up getting this card for 60s. 60s, and then I think, like, 40 or something. Like, or maybe it was 70 and 50. But, I mean, they're selling a little bit here. They're selling more. Okay, people would rather dish out a lot of money for the high rarity of this card, because I'm seeing more ultis sold in May than just normal ultras in, what's called April and May combined on TCG players. So that... wow. I mean, it's selling. It is selling. Not a bad ulti to grab. Also, speaking of this card, I will be doing a Ghost Rare Market Watch this weekend. I noticed that my last 6 videos were all Market Watches, and I'm like, man, I gotta throw something else in there, because I don't do just Market Watches on this channel. I want to do my Satara Knight deck profile when I have enough familiarity with the deck. And I want to revisit it after testing, because people are still testing that deck. I had the same guy send me like 2 different deck lists. Gravity Collapse, rares, $7.50, so that's better than 12s. It's not awful. What are commons here? Like $5-6? Honestly, I would keep an eye out on this card. People are listing them for like 4s, right? Roughly. That's not bad for this card. I think $4 for an OTS common of this is not bad for a value to pick it up at. They could reprint this as an ultra and goes to the past. So if you're worried about that, I would check this card every 3-4 days, right? Not daily, right? Maybe even if you want to check it every week, but just 3-4 days to make sure. And if this drops to like a solid 3 and you want to make sure you have it, go ahead, pull the trigger. If they drop to 2s, all that, yeah, they could reprint it as an ultra, blah, blah, blah. But the card, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry. And, you know, if the synchro support comes out and you see this in, like, a lot of lists and it hasn't been reprinted in, say, Ghost in the Past, I just feel like that's the best place to put this, mind you. Can we be reprinted somewhere else? If it's not reprinted in general, it's going to spike back up. Plant Spider Orchid here from Dual Power. By the way, Super and OTS, good idea, Konami. Plant Spider Orchid. People are now playing this because you can, I think this is against super heavy. I think people want to play it against that. I forget exactly why this card's been up, but yeah, they're like 2s now. Whoa, whoa. Dragonic Diagram here. This card's probably going to go to 3 on the next list. You got 8s on your Battles of Legends here. I remember these were 3-4s. Mega Packs, these used to be like 3s. And then Maximum Crisis always used to be anywhere from like 4 to 5, like 4 or 5-ish for first eds. First edition near mints here. You got 18 listings, $10 going up to 12, 14 here. You want to add lightly played, it helps it. I mean, $8 cute, but yeah. We get this to 3. Can we see at $20? Yeah. Especially if we get something like Masterpiece back, which, you know what? We have, who's looking at Masterpiece right now? I am. All right. Masterpiece. Keeping the peace. Yeah. 17 going up to like 23, 24. This card doesn't need to be on the list. Like, just bring it back, right? Weather painters can have a lot of fun. Like, I feel like bringing this back will just make people like single-handedly more appreciative of Rogue, like overnight. But you know, there's no money in that for Konami. Maybe that's why they're not bringing this back, because there's no way Konami looks at this card in this current meta and goes like, yeah, we need to keep this on lock, bro. Fire King, Avatar, Yaksha. So this didn't really move with the new Fire King support, I think. And the reason why is because people like this deck, but back when it came out, it was never meta. People thought it was okay. Like, you saw this at locals for fun, and that's it, right? I think the only reason people went crazy is because most structure decks sucked back in the day. This one was okay, right? Well, for structure decks it was revolutionary, but it was mediocre at best, right? You play at locals, you have fun, that's it. I don't remember this card getting a single top. If I'm incorrect, go ahead, correct me. So I don't know what people expected at all. But if you want these cards, I mean, you got first editions here for like 350, $5, yada yada. You can pick it up if you want to. Personally, I just won't waste my time with this deck or this card. Rainbow Dragon Ghost Rare. As you guys could tell, this is clearly a dragon, by the way. This is the Chaos NEOS misprint from Tactical Evolution. And, oh, they don't have the funny listing. There was a listing for 69, 420. But 3K, you know, that's how much, well, why is there a Becketed one here? This is the fusion here. Okay, that's why. Okay. Okay, I see why. So 30,000 here for this card. You know what's really funny is I know I've actually, this is the one card I want to see in person eventually one day, but it's really cool how they accidentally put this as a ghoster. I mean, Tactical Evolution, I remember people were cracking this open just to hopefully get this. In fact, I don't know if one was opened on YouTube or on camera before, like besides the one time. I know there's one. And it's really cool because this is a misprint that essentially, I mean, it's a crazy part of history in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where this card, I feel like if there was ever like a card museum, right? Like for collectible cards, right? This should be in there with like a texting. It's something very cool that I wouldn't mind doing one day. I mean, a collectible card museum. I feel like that's a nerd fantasy, but you know, if I don't know, if I ever get enough, if I'm ever like a little mini Mr. Beast, which will never happen, mind you, but who knows? That might be something I throw my money at. Be cool. Regular Ghost Rare, Rainbow NEOS. I want to look at this here. How much are these? I actually have a German of this. 98, cool. 116. Yeah, basically a bill. You want first edition here? Roughly almost 2 bills. I actually feel like this card is so cheap for what it is. Like, I don't know why this card is actually as cheap as it is. I just feel like maybe it's because everyone who wants their copy has their copy. But people were playing with this being one of the new, instead of Fusion Destiny, people were playing, I think it was called like Rainbow Fusion. It's in Savage Strike, and people were playing with this and making this card. It goes up to 300. I think it was called NEOS Fusion, maybe? Pretty sure that's what it was. There it is. It was called NEOS Fusion. Okay. Which, by dollars, you know, going up to twos. I feel like this card could still do something. But yeah. Uh, what's called? People did consider playing this as well. But it's something, right? You know, and then if a, what's it called? If a fusion monster control that lists elemental hero Neos as material will be stored by battle card effect or shuffle the next trick by its own effect, you can banish the card from your graveyard instead. So, which is really nice that it buys it a turn. I think it has the best, like, this really helps that whole Neos archetype right here. I feel like this is a card. It also has a super, I believe, at like $1. You might as well just get the secrets at that point for like 2. But I don't know. I always feel like this card could be something one day, but who knows? Who knows? In fact, I remember there's also a I think it's called Contact Neos. Contact something. It's gonna bother me if I can't find what this card is. Oh yeah, here it is. Contact Gate. This is an Ultra from Cybernetic Horizon that was used as our sneak peek. And then Konami forgot about this card. It's 49 listings, but it's a cute penny stock. I don't say go crazy over it, but you can like easily invest like a few dollars in this. And even if it gets, say, reprinted as like an Ultra or a Super, well, it gets reprinted as a Super, that's still highest rarity. This is a limited edition run because this was sneak peek for Cybernetic Horizon. You banish 2 Neo Spatial monsters with different names from your grave. Special summon 2 monsters with different names from your hand, deck, or graveyard, right? So basically, you banish 2 and you basically make the fusion, right? But you're locked into fusions. And then if you piece of fusion monster that lists element hero Neos, so material rotates your field from the extra deck, you banish a card from your graveyard, special one of your banished Neospatial monsters. So helps you just gain like so much advantage. Like technically you're going plus, you could go +3 off this bitch. Right? This is a +3 card in a way. It's kind of insane here. And the card doesn't really sell, but I just feel Like, one day this could explode. It's just something to keep an eye out on. I actually had NEOS Fusion over here. That's cool. Rainbow Neos here. Secret rare. Man, Matt, we were going over this card like 5 minutes ago. These right now are, let's see here. I actually 36 for a, okay. Okay. First edition are below, okay, good. If it hits 70, my issues, I'd consider getting unlimited ghost at 70. I think 45 is quite nice, actually. It does quickly go up to like 70 as well. Not many listings on these either. Like, these just aren't selling much, which is kind of insane to me. So a lot of damage for 20. That's crazy. Just really awesome card. I think the Phantom Darkness Seekers just look so good. I feel like they just overprinted this card. Maybe that's why for the time. Because Phantom Darkness was all about Dark Arm Dragon. Which, you know what? I actually want to take a look at a few these cards. Okay, that got bought out a while ago, so I want to check that. I don't want to extend this market watch. So 270. You know what? Oh well, 218 then 270. I mean, you could get a cheap one here for Edison before it goes to 400. Not an awful idea if you want to take the gamble on it. Allure of Darkness here. Altis are 195, 266, 300. I mean, it's always been crazy. At least it's sell. I remember there were 300 a pop. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you here. These Germans for 130 aren't bad. If there was all Italian here, I'd probably get it. These Italians, whoa. These Italians look gorgeous. And that's light play. I mean, I could tell he probably puts that light play, but this is probably like, this looks like some of the best light play ever. Absolutely. You know what? If he had three, I would consider playing Italian if I wanted those. Goblin Zombie here, Darkness, 114. Yeah, fucking insane, mate. Unlimited. Oh, well, you got one for 55. Then 82.90. So if you want one more, this card was very cheap for a long time, so I can't even be upset that's worth a lot of money because people want to play an Edison. I told you you'll get the DTs at like $1. If you did, congrats, you made some money. Wouldn't be bad to get this card in a reprint. I mean, that's the super rare from Crimson Crisis, which is a limited edition. Luckily, these are money. So if you find these in bulk or whatever, you got $3 card on your hand. And depending on how popular this deck is in Edison, it's just gonna go up and up. Secret Rare looks gorgeous, though, I'll tell you that. Rainbow Neos Legend Collection 2. These are still like 4.5s. That card was like 15, by the way, that version, until I got the rare in El Dorado. I don't know. I like this card. If you guys don't know what this card does, in fact, let's read the cooler version of this if I can find it. Oh, I guess we don't have that anymore. Okay, if I want to waste my time looking at the secret rare. So, once per turn, you can activate one of the following effects. You send a monster you control your graveyard to return all monsters your opponent controls to the deck. Amazing. And then you can send a spell trap to return all spell traps your opponent controls to the deck. Or send one card from the top of your deck to graveyard to return all cards in your opponent's graveyard to the deck. I love it. I mean, that's good, right? I feel like this card actually is really good. And I kind of want to play this. I don't know. I feel like I just don't know. I just want to gamble it and just see kind of what happens. You know, I always wanted to play this card. If Ultra ever get support, people are not going to be happy with this, but I want to try this. Like, you know what? We'll put it in the extra deck. Like one copy. We'll put like 3 NEOS Fusion, 5 materials. We'll see how much room the deck has. I mean, it's cool. Like, you summon this, right, for free, and then if they can't stop it, it's so good. I don't know. I felt like this is an engine that, like, died really quickly. All right. Well, with that being said, leave a like if you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next Market Watch. Remember, if you guys want to win these sleeves, you have to be subscribed, leave a like, and let me know how your day was, what you think of the sleeves, or the intro, or what am I looking over next? Market Watch as well. So those 3 requirements, okay? And I'll announce on the community tab later on. If you're buying any cards off TCG Player, please use my link down in the description below. Helps out the channel to no additional cost to you. Maybe I'll do a discussion video later this week because I haven't done one of those in a while. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.